the dish is already there.
I could have visited 5 countries in the last few months.
And create a little mini studio at home.
Yeah.
Then I studied law as well. I felt very, very privileged. You know, you can be called in at any audition at any time for any show. The clue's in the title, The Boy in the Dress.
Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, everyone. How is it going for all of you? I hope that everything is good and you're well. My name is Dan Zagori and I'm theatre and Broadway blogger. And today, let me introduce you to the 5th edition of Q&A with Theatre Professional. As you might know from my previous interview, today I will be joined by a lovely chap from England whose name is Irvine Iqbal. So here are the top 5 facts about him. Irvine was born in Bolton, but moved to London where he got his BA Hons degree in drama at Brunel University. In 2006, Irvine has played the role of Wakar Islam in Infinite Justice. He is the first and only British Asian actor to have performed in all 3 British Asian musicals on West End. He has performed in an original cast of Disney's Aladdin on West End, playing the role of Sultan. In 2019, Irvine moved from London to Stratford to perform the role of Raj in the hit RSC's show The Boy in Dress. As you can see, today we will talk about his professional experiences at both RSC and Disney. We will touch base on his personal motivations and differences between screen and stage. Then we will go in depth on The Boy in Dress, finding a lot of new insights, and his work with famous Robbie Williams. So Irvine is already online, and just before he joins, I would like to ask all of you to like this video, to subscribe on my channel, as there is a lot of new, interesting and educational interviews and other stuff coming up. And if you want to ask Irvine anything, please feel free to do so in the comments below. And everyone, as all of us were waiting for, Irvine Iqbal. Hi, Irvine.
Hi, Dan. How are you? Apologies.
I'm good. It's all right. So, are you doing well? You good? Yeah?
Doing very well. I've tried to match the same background with the same Aladdin poster as you.
Great. Yeah, mine is... I have actually seen Aladdin and I have seen you in it as well on West End, so yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah. So
how many times have you seen it?
So I've seen Aladdin twice on West End and once on Broadway, and I've seen The Boy in Dress once in the RSC.
Oh, wow. Oh, great.
So, yeah. I'm kind of your big fan, you know?
Oh, that's very kind of you.
Yeah.
Which one did you prefer? Did you prefer the Broadway version or the West End version?
I mean, Broadway is kind of bigger and like more massive, but West End seems a bit like, you know, the community in there is better, and I like London more than Broadway, so I don't know.
Good answer, Dan.
Yeah. All right, so let's start with the first question, and let's talk about your hit show that you were in, RSC's The Boy in Dress.
Yeah.
You know, you have started in 2019 and finished on March 7th, 2020. I've actually seen it, as I've mentioned before, and like this production, in my opinion, deserves to go on further to London and perhaps overtake Matilda in future. How successful do you think The Boy in Dress was for the RSC, and what are their future plans on it?
I think it was very, very successful, you know, especially with the people that were attached to it, people like Robbie Williams and David Walliams, because obviously David's got a massive following with his book. You know, he's a big children's author in this country, internationally. So, you know, as soon as you've got the kind of the right ingredients in terms of a creative team with Robbie and David, you know, the dish is already there. But we did a really good run up at Stratford. It was such a great success, and the stage worked very well with the story, and you know, I think it's ready to be seen for the, you know, by the rest of the world.
But are they making it now in this time, or are they waiting for something, or what is going on in the RSC, you know?
I think the plan was to transfer it to the West End, and they had theatres in mind for the West End for this year. Later on in the year, I think with the West End, there's a lot of things going on at the moment. So, and not many theatres are available. But the rumor was that it was going to come in later on in the year at some point. But it was all about finding the right theatre, because with a show like that, it's about the right size of, you know, of theatre too.
Yeah. All right. So, second question, talking about something recent that happened to you. Your contract with RSC obviously has ended in March. And due to the current situation in the world, a lot of our plans have changed. For instance, I could have visited 5 countries in the last few months. So how did the current situation change your plans? Did you have the other job that is not happening, or were you planning on taking the rest after the RSC, so everything is going as planned?
Yeah, I mean, I'd planned to take 2 months off because I'd been working kind of consistently for about 5 years, you know, in and out of shows in the West End. So I'd actually planned to take 2 months off because I just had a little baby boy who was born last year, little Vincent. So I was planning to spend some time with him. But obviously this kicked in, and I had 3 other projects that were ready to go later on in the year. They all got cancelled. So, you've got to kind of...
reality,
Yeah, the reality of it all. So because I do a lot of voiceover work. Okay. I kind of did a bit of a DIY job and created a little mini studio at home. So I was able to record voiceovers at home and do some work here.
That is actually very interesting. And you have mentioned that you've done a lot of projects, and I think that, like, you being a professional actor, you're still obviously a human being, as all of us are. And we all have bad days and days that we are unwilling to do anything, but your job requires you to perform mostly every day, and each show should be like the first and the last one, and you have to be like very good and motivated. So do you have any sort of motivation or a motivator in your life? Or in other words, what generally motivates you to do your job every single day on a very high level?
Oh, that's such a great question. I think, I've been lucky enough to work with some great people, over the last 25 years, people who've worked in the West End for in numerous jobs, but also I've had some great teachers as well. And I think, the most important thing is that you can't, the minute you start getting bored with your job, I think that's when you need to asking yourself questions, whether I need to keep on doing it again.
But you still obviously do it, because you definitely can lose the motivation in between, but you definitely...
Yeah, I think it's the love of the work, it's, okay. I remember when I first started, wanting to get into this business, I heard the music of West Side Story, and that kind of corrupted me. So, you get carried away with you get corrupted by the music and the writing and all the different shows. So for me, it's, I'll never get bored with it, because I love the music so much, and I love the stories.
Yeah, that's true. Fair enough. So speaking about your life, let's talk a bit about your very intense life with your education. First degree that you got was at the Brunel University, studying drama, television and film. And then you got your master's degree in business in Westminster College. And for me, business and drama are completely different areas of study and are very rarely mixed up. So when and how did it happen that you realized that you want to go on and get a master's degree in business, and how do you combine drama and business in your daily life?
Yeah, it's a funny one. I've always been a big fan of education. And, working in our industry, sometimes you get the advantages of having a little bit of time off, or you've not got a job coming up. So I kind of wanted to kind of utilize those moments in my life. And so I did my degree, and then I actually did a postgraduate in music as well, at the Royal Academy. Yeah. Then I studied law as well. Oh. I know. It's quite a lot.
Studying all your life, every day.
And then a lot of those things have helped me, especially in my work, performing. And then I did my MBA. Yeah. So, it was important for me, I think, in the late 2000s to have a little bit of time out from the industry. So
but do you use MBA in your daily life, or is it just the degree that you put on the shelf and there it is?
I think I've applied it quite a lot, in life, not just in, not just working on the stage or working in roles and everything. I've worked in corporate role play too, where that's helped. I've played businessmen and all sorts of different corporate roles. So that's helped there. But it was more kind of an education thing for me, and knowledge. Business has always been something that I've been very interested in, and producing as well, understanding how the models work for this industry. More importantly now, when the whole theatre industry has changed.
Yeah, true. So you're also the first, and if I'm not mistaken, I might be wrong in here, the only British Asian actor having performed in all 3 British Asian West End shows, including Bombay Dreams, The Far Pavilions, and Bend It Like Beckham. So was it your childhood dream and the goal that you were going for all your life? Or was it like just a coincidence that you were in the cast of those 3? And how do you feel about being like the first, the only in that sort of thing?
Well, I mean, I feel very privileged. I've always wanted to work on the stage. When I you're talking about my degree before, I had a great lecturer there who looked after me. His name was John Jimin, and he was the head of drama at Brunel University. And he said to me, "Look, you do some great stage work, but it's about time you kind of practice and practice on your singing voice, because you've got quite a good singing voice." And I did music at school. I sang in the choir at school, and I played an instrument, but I never kind of, I never focused a lot on singing.
Yeah.
Then John recommended that I go to the Royal Academy of Music and do Mary Hammond's course there, which was back in 1999, which I think, for people wanting to get into musical theatre, it's the best course, or was the best course. I don't know now because I'm not familiar with all the musical theatre courses now, but at that time it was the best course around. And I mean, it made me just fall back in love with the industry, with the business and wanting to perform on stage. So I felt very, very privileged, and and it was just lucky that John pointed me in that direction.
But are you like still the only one there, or is there any other people that overtook it as well? I mean, I know that you're the first, but are there any other people that took over?
I don't think there's been anybody from my background that have done all 3 musicals in the West End. But the best thing about what's happening because of those shows is that a lot of people have been influenced by watching those shows, and now are going to drama school and, understanding that this profession, is a profession. They're not pressurized in becoming a doctor, a dentist, or an accountant. They can take this as a profession and go and train and do something that they enjoy. So those shows have influenced a lot of people. And then now, with the generation that we have at the moment that have come out of Aladdin, Bend It Like Beckham, there's hundreds of South Asian, actors out there, and they're all really, really good, extremely talented.
I mean, for me, all of them are amazing, They're all just awesome. So in 2006, you were filming in Infinite Justice, playing the role of Wakar Islam, and it was like your film work. And since then, you've done quite a few films, but you have done way more theater shows since then.
Yes, it's been a mixed bag, really. Yeah. Kind of dipped in and out of film. I did Infinite.
So like, what is the main difference for you between acting for screen and acting on stage? And what is the main reason that you have like chosen theater and have done more theater jobs than film ones?
I don't know. I think I enjoy the live experience, especially the experience of performing in front of a live audience every day. I mean, that takes discipline within itself. We've been trained to look after our voices so that our voices can take and maintain 8 shows a week. So for me personally, I don't have any preference. I think it's just the journey that I've taken. I've been lucky, actually, as an actor, to have done across the board, feature films, television.
But there are quite a few of actors that are doing mixed thing, and since like even uni, like even in RADA and other drama schools, they're doing films and theater at the same time, so it's kind of mixed up.
But also with shows as well, especially West End shows or theatre shows, you have the advantage of a regular income. As well, because you're paid every week, and obviously you've got mouths to feed if you have children, or you have to pay your rent. So there are advantages, looking at it that way. But I finished Infinite Justice. Then I did a German feature film called The Cook, and then dipped in and out of a lot of British television. But musical theatre has been the main stream.
Yeah. All right, so moving on to your theatre show, The Boy in Dress. In 2019, you have been casted as Raj in it.
Yeah.
And I know that you don't live in Stratford, and so don't many of your former castmates. And like Stratford, because I was there, it's very small city, and all of you were kind of living very close to each other and not being at home every time. So therefore, in my opinion, the community of your cast was better than the ones you've done on the West End, like closer. So how do you think that the fact that the atmosphere in the cast was closer improved the show and the performances that you did?
I think just because we were in the vicinity of each other, I don't think it changed the dynamic really much. We were very kind of close, knit ensemble. I mean, I think it's just the nature of the geography, when you go and do shows outside of London, is that, it goes back to the old kind of repertory style theatre, that people used to live close by and, stay in digs and everything like that. So I don't think the kind of, the dynamic changes much, we're very much, the same tight knit, we all got on very, very well, Sure. It was a group of very hardworking people, especially dealing with a brand new show. As well.
Actually, my next question is linked to the brand new show. So
so I think it didn't change much of the dynamic. You're still together because you're still performing every day. That's how incestuous this industry is that you meet each other every day. You meet each other for rehearsal every day. You do the show. You're performing on stage with each other. So it didn't change the dynamic much.
Okay, so continuing speaking about The Boy in Dress, the music for which was written by famously known and beloved Robbie Williams. And as you were in the original cast and the show was brand new, as you've mentioned before, I have heard that Robbie himself was visiting the rehearsals, therefore working closely with everybody in the production and creative team. So was he fully into the show, or was he kind of in and out without caring too much about it? And how did your personal experience with Mr. Williams look like?
No, he was very
I
mean, he was very much heavily involved. All the creative team were all heavily involved, from day one of rehearsals. Robbie and David used to attend rehearsals regularly. They used to watch and observe some of the scenes that we were creating and offer their input, offer their advice. But they were very heavily involved. I think this story is very personal to them. And obviously, it's Robbie's first kind of musical as well. Him working with Guy Chambers, it's their first kind of mainstream commercial musical.
All right,
they were very much hands-on and very, very, very supportive.
Yeah, definitely.
I think when he met me, he said to me something along, "Oh, where are you from?" I said, "Oh, I'm from Bolton." He goes, "Oh, I know where Bolton is." I think it was one of those conversations. But very, very nice guys and very nice men and very just really supportive.
Yeah. So in your cast, there were 3 characters that were actually played by kids. And you know that having kids in the professional performances is a little bit controversial. One might think that kids are making the shows even better. One might feel like they're extremely hard to work with. Personally, for you, an actor with a lot of different professional experiences, what are the advantages and disadvantages of having kids in the cast?
Well, this, it all depends on context, really. This show is, the clue's in the title, The Boy in the Dress.
Yeah.
And obviously David's being a children's author, this story and has a huge subscription, to a lot of children, a lot of people. And it has a high level of expectation. So I don't think the show could have it couldn't have had those characters, child actors performing it. Couldn't have had adult actors doing it. And I think,
fair enough.
With the context as well, it's about a little bit about truth as well.
I
think children naturally bring truth to to those performances.
All right, so that was just pretty much from my questions. The last part of the interview that I usually do is the advice from people like you, famous actors. So you being an actor with a lot of experience in both film and theater, could you please give the advice for actors at any level of experience, or even not actors, just the professionals of the industry, who are uncertain what to choose between film and theater for their living and main area of work? What is your main piece of advice that you can give all of them?
I think, for me personally, I've be as versatile as as you want to be. If you enjoy all 3 disciplines, theatre, television and film, do all 3. I enjoy doing all 3. If you want to go into and focus straight on musical theatre, my biggest advice to you is know the repertoire. Know the knowledge of all the repertoire. Learn musical theatres shows, learn pop shows, learn Disney shows, learn Sondheim shows, all the repertoire, so that you have all the songs and stories in your arsenal, so that when you go and audition for shows, that you have full knowledge about all of that.
You're actually not the first person who said that, to have different repertoire in your weapon, so you can use it at any different
Yeah, I mean, that's what happens. You know, you can be called in at any audition at any time for any show. You know, people's preferences and, you know, shows are going on, different shows are going on all the time. There might be a show happening outside London or on Broadway or, you know, whatever. So it's good to have a cross repertoire.
Yeah. Marvelous. Thank you so much. And I hope to stay in touch with you. And
yes, of
see
course.
you later. Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you. Take care.
Yeah, you too. Bye. All right, everyone. Irvine has just gone, and I think it was an amazing and extremely insightful interview. I have discovered a lot of new things about Disney and the RSC companies, and I hope you did too. But before you leave, I actually want to introduce you to the next interview of mine with a guy whose name is Michael James Scott. So here is a quick teaser for it. So I hope to see all of you here on my YouTube channel on Wednesday next week. And if you like this interview, subscribe on my channel and press the bell so you get the notifications when I'm going live, and give me a thumbs up if you think that this interview was interesting. Every single one of your subscriptions and thumbs up truly matter to me. And in the meantime, stay healthy, be safe, and stay entertained, and enjoy the rest of your day and week.